The latest Southport Live series brings a true partnership here both on and off the field. We've got Classon and Hamish Morton, and they are going to be arguing all the way through this, but we'll let them go on.
I know who's boss.
You know who's boss, okay. Starting with you, Hamish, because you've been watching Southport since around about 1965-ish?
Yes, my father was the club's medical officer. We were in the Football League in the mid-60s, all through to the till we fell out of the Football League. So it was about that time I started to, he used to come and bring me to the games, used to sit up in the director's box. I don't have much recollection, to be honest, of games at that time, but yeah, it's not that long. Although I can't profess to have watched Southport for the whole intervening period, I must admit.
Mm-hmm. But you're volunteering, looking at a little bit of that. You've been coming, I've come down a couple of days a week. I think you're down 7 days a week, washing, drying, everything. Tell us about the roles that you've got as a volunteer, Hamish.
I had a day off yesterday.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Was that because of the bad weather on Saturday?
Because we didn't have a game, so there was no kit to wash yesterday, so we had a day off.
Yeah.
Didn't quite know what to do all day. Ended up decorating at home.
Yeah.
So yes, I first came down here when I took early retirement when it was 11 years ago. So I came down here one summer just looking to lend a hand and do some painting and stuff. And it just progressed from there. So gradually I spent more and more time. So it's become a 6-7 day a week.
What sorts of things are you actually doing now?
Well, when I first came down, it was more doing odd jobs, helping around the ground, helping with maintenance, and then after a while I started to get involved in the kit. 2 or 3 of us doing the kit at the time, and for the last few years I've had sole responsibility for preparing all the match day kits, washing it all afterwards, as well as doing bits and pieces, try and keep on top of the dressing rooms in terms of painting, and I think Les Rooney hit the nail on the head when you did his interview about trying to make things better. So underneath the nice shiny seats and the posh boardroom and the posh bar, it's still a 50-year-old building, so it's got its inherent problems with damp and stuff. So we just try and keep it looking as nice as we can.
I think when we've seen the kits as we've come off some of these dirty games at Bradford this year, how did that kit recover? That must have been one of the biggest challenges you've ever faced.
Well, I've got to say one of the worst ones was when we went to Garstang in the Cup a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
I think they've been flooded again recently, haven't they? But it was a particularly wet night, and I think we wore part of the kit was white that night. So I have a rule. So each item will get washed up to 3 times. If it doesn't come out after 3 times, we either throw it away or it just has to do for the next time. And that, I'm afraid, is one of the reasons why we don't wear the white kit very often.
Do you have any particular problems with the players with the kits? Is it a bit trendy nowadays to cut off socks? I think I've seen you getting very good at that.
Here we go.
Oh, go on, show us your socks.
Exhibit 1. So there is a sock that the majority of players, including both goalkeepers, cut the feet off the sock. Well, they don't cut them, I cut them. And then you have to cigarette lighter singe the end of them to stop them fraying. So that just seems to be a habit that's come in the last 6-7 years or so. More and more players wear cut-off socks. Now some of the manufacturers are actually producing socks which haven't got feet these days, but unfortunately Kappa don't do that as yet. So, yeah.
And it's your role to make sure that all the equipment is in the dressing room as necessary. And I see you've got a few sweets there. Is there something new as well?
Exhibit B, yeah, there we go. So in the dressing room, match day, we have Haribo, we have bananas, Jaffa cakes, that's another favourite, particularly Daniel Gabrielson. So all the stuff's in the corridor at the moment, waiting for the Brackley trip tomorrow afternoon, hopefully. Yeah.
You must have some good memories though of time, good and bad no doubt, but some good memories of watching Southport.
Yes, and one of the earliest memories is seeing Eric Redrow start bollock naked in my father's medical room. So the referee's room next door used to be his medical room, so that was a bit of an eye opener.
I would imagine it was seeing Eric Redrow totally naked.
So yeah, we've seen some good times, and we've seen some bad times, as you're aware. So I was there on that fateful day at was it Watford we went to the last league game? So I went down on the train. Yeah, I was one of the few that went to, was it South Liverpool? That was the first North League game. Yeah. So, yeah, there have been some sad moments, there have been some good moments as well.
I'm sure, like most of us, one of your highlights will be?
Well, one of the biggest highlights was the final whistle of the second leg of the semi-final. It's because at that point, you've got the realisation that your football club is going to play with.
Yeah.
Don't start crying.
I think I go good when he's talking. I'm going goosebumps with the thoughts of
And to me, that was almost to me that was almost bigger than the day itself, because it was just that realisation that it was going to happen.
Yeah.
And then pulling into the service station, which was on the M1. I think it was Watford Gap, which had been designated as a Southport sort of gathering point, as it were, and it was just a sea of yellow and black. So
certainly a day to remember.
Yeah, and whether we'll ever get there again, I don't know, but it was certainly a highlight.
Lovely. Okay. Well, I don't know if there's any truth in this, Christine, but I think you once whispered to me that you come here primarily so that you actually see your partner. Is that right?
Can't beat them, join them.
Yeah. And that's how it all started.
Yeah. Well, I took early retirement about 3 years ago now, and I prior to that, I'd started helping you in the shop, hadn't I, on match days, a couple of seasons before that. And then just got more and more involved on a daily basis, doing bits of administration, as well as taking over the running of the club shop. So predominantly, I do volunteer coordinator, making sure we've got enough people to cover all the bases on match day. And just volunteer coordinator is a smaller part of the role now, really. Match day, I love match day, it's my favourite day. Get here about 10 o'clock and just start getting the shop ready, ticketing, start welcoming the supporters home and away. And obviously looking to sell things as much as possible in the shop to get the club revenue.
Yeah, we've got a good team of volunteers now here, haven't we? And I think this coordinator role has taken off, and I think everybody appreciates the work you do. It's not quite as easy because you've got to make sure all the right people are in the right place all the time.
It is, and obviously, people come when they can. But on the whole, it's just about communication, really, making sure I know who's coming and when, keeping them informed as well. Like the game being off on Saturday, we had to make sure we get in touch with everybody. I mean, they all practically knew, but it was just making sure that that they knew, didn't just turn up in the rain.
What sorts of jobs do some of the volunteers do? We've had a look at some of them in the Portlife series we're doing, but there's quite a few jobs available, isn't there, for people?
Yeah, there's lots. Obviously, there's turnstile operators, and we've got a mix now. So we've kind of got a split model with the ticketing now. So we've got a couple of cash turnstiles. So we have the turnstiles. Programme sellers, 50-50, obviously you've touched base with Les, and I also we're in partnership with a group of supported disabled workers through Paul Glendenning, and they're absolutely brilliant. They come on match day and they sell 50-50 now, so it's really...
They're certainly very enthusiastic sellers, aren't they?
Oh, they're fabulous, yeah, and they get so much out of it. And then not only that, but after the game, they'll go through the stand and clear rubbish up as well, and they really feel like they've made a difference, and that's what it's all about at every level. It's about making a difference.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter how much you do, whether it's a couple of hours on match day or the lads that are in the week, or Hamish, myself, yourselves, we all make a difference, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah. Okay, you're also here during the week quite a bit now, aren't you, as well? Yeah. So what sort of things are you involved in during the week?
After Natalie left, obviously James had to pick up quite a bit of the administration responsibilities, operational responsibilities around the grounds. So I support him with financial administration, do bookkeeping. So that's kind of quite a big part of my role now. I also do the shop, making sure it's stocked, all the ticketing online, merchandise. I'll do anything really. Before the last game of the season.
You wouldn't do the washing though, would you?
No, well, no.
You couldn't even do that at home, do you?
Well, no, because I don't even get told off. I wouldn't do it properly. I don't do it properly at home, so.
The thing about volunteering here is that everything we do saves the club money.
Yeah.
So if we can save the club money, puts extra money in the manager's budget or whatever. So
That's it. That's
why
exactly
we
it.
do it.
I think that's something that
That's
Ian
it.
Kyle has said to us in his interviews with us.
Yeah.
The volunteering part of the club just couldn't function anymore without that. Do you both
Yeah.
feel that?
I just love doing what I'm doing, because coming from a banking background, administration, you just feel like we can give something back to something that we love doing. And like I say, unless I came here, I wouldn't see Hamish. And I actually not only save the money, the club money by being here, I save Hamish money because I'd have to have the heating on at home. So, which I regularly get told off about. So yeah, it's just great. But I do quite a lot. And like I say, the first game of the season, cleaned all the outside toilets because they needed doing to get ready for the first game. So you just do it.
So you've got your hands dirty as well.
Literally.
Yeah. I think you're not relative. You've been watching Southport for a while, but I think you're one of these that have moved away from one of the Premier League teams as well, aren't you, Christine?
Yeah. Mr. Monk calls me a bitter blue, and he's like, I'm proud. But yeah, I just love football. I mean, I was an Evertonian growing up, and dare I say it, we couldn't afford tickets for Everton, so we used to go and watch Tranmere on Friday night. Sharping, take a breath, but it was just football. We just love football, and Hamish and I have been together 20 years now, so I've been indoctrinated. And we've moved to Southport, moved back to Southport 11, 12 years ago, and since then I've been coming on a more regular basis.
Yeah, okay. I think, Hamish, if I remember right, I remember seeing you on that far side with your daughter as well, with the colouring books.
Yes,
colouring
trying to watch a football match while keeping a 3 or 4 year old entertained. So we used to come with the rucksack full of crayons, books, sweets, drinks, everything. She never quite got over meeting Earl Davis on the pitch at Harrogate on that successful day. So we managed to get on the pitch, and Earl had taken his shirt off, so I introduced Lucy to him, and she just looked up at this huge chap, and she's quite tame with a big girl.
Yeah.
And Christian, I think your family have been, I know Rachel, isn't it, comes in the shop sometimes to help out.
Yeah. We rally the troops around, don't we, on the big games, so to help with tickets and things. 50-50 selling, put their arm up their back, but it's like you said, you can't beat them, join them, isn't it? The only way they can see us on match days is be here. So, and Matthew, he loves it as well. If you ask him who he supports, he'll say Man United, but I'll say, who do you support? Matthew says Southport.
So we're trying to convert a few.
He loves them, yeah. So.
Yeah. And Hamish, sorry, I meant to pick you up before. Your dad was the club doctor, wasn't he, for quite considerable time here at Southport?
Yes, he stopped when we fell out of the Football League because it was no longer a requirement that the club had an honorary medical officer at that time. So yes, through the 60s, so Billy Bingham, and into the early 70s, Jim Meadows, people like that. So yeah, it's a long time ago. And
you're going to carry on for the foreseeable?
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure how we can get out of it.
I plead with James to sack me some days.
I mean,
it's not going to happen.
There are times when you think you must go through the same thing yourself. Why are we doing it? Because as a volunteer, obviously your motivation isn't pay or anything like that. Your motivation is what happens on the pitch, and of course those successful times only come around every so often. So there are times when it doesn't. It's always harder when we're not doing well on the pitch. Yeah.
We're doing this actually on the day before the Brackley game, and as we speak, there's been flooding all around the country, and we don't know whether it's going to be on or not. But that's a lot of commitment, isn't it, for all of us to sort of think we're going to be setting off 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I know what we're staying, but what time will you get home from?
Probably about 2:30. Then start the washing machines, put them on, put all the kit in
before
the
you
washing
come
machine
home.
Before I come home.
You do that before you come home?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, gosh.
Put them on timers and spray them if they need spray.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay.
And one final thing I've got to mention.
Yeah.
When you're talking about kit, Solihull Moors.
Yes.
Oh,
I wasn't going to mention
television.
He's got to get it off his chest.
Got to get it off my chest.
Go on, it wasn't your fault.
Because it wasn't the kit man's fault that night. We took the kit we were told to take. And I think if it hadn't been on television, I don't think it would have been a problem. But the commentators and the the other people on television were a little bit patronising that night, saying, "Oh, we know the kit men, they work hard, they just got it wrong." Well, we didn't get it wrong that night. We took what we were told.
So whose decision was it that it was it the referee that decided?
I think the referee was put under pressure a little bit by, I think there's a National League representative there, and they just wanted to make a point, I think.
Yeah, you've been very diplomatic there, Hamish.
Yeah.
He always is.
Very good. Well, that's the latest in our live series. We've got quite a few of these still to do. So we thank Hamish and Christine for coming in today and spending the time to go through some of the roles that they do. Thank you.